I'm AJ Schwichtenberg in the Department of Human Development and Family Science at Purdue University. Children thrive on routine, and a sleep routine is no exception to this. If you want to set your child up for a successful school year, recognize that sleep is tightly linked with attention and learning processes. If they're going to do their best, they're going to need a good night's sleep to do it. When parents think about promoting positive sleep in their children, there's a couple of things they need to keep in mind. One is the developmental age of their child. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that preschool age children get at least 10 hours of sleep a night, but really aiming for more of 11 or 13. If you have a school age child, so this would be kindergarten up until they hit puberty, they're aiming for at least 9 hours of sleep, but really more about 10 or 12. And once you have an adolescent and they've experienced puberty, they have more adult-like sleep needs. So that means a minimum of 8 hours, and then they're aiming for really more of 9 or 10 hours. When setting your child up for a successful night of sleep, think about bedtime routines, right? A great bedtime routine is going to be between 10 and 20 minutes. It's going to include somewhere between 2 and 4 activities that are calming for your child. Know your child. Know if they're younger, maybe their bedtime routine includes brushing their teeth, then cuddling up and listening to a story, ending with a lovely hug, and then good night. If your child's a little bit older, maybe you still start with that teeth brushing, but then you decompress about the day a little bit. Talk about like what their day was like, keeping things calm and positive, and then maybe ending with them listening to an audio story that's set with a timer. And so they get about 10 minutes of calming their bodies and their minds before they transition to sleep themselves. When we talk to parents about setting children up for a good night's sleep, it starts when they wake in the morning. Exposure to full spectrum light, this can include sunlight, or you can have a full spectrum light in your home. Anytime throughout the day is great, but in the morning in particular is really ideal for helping to set up those circadian patterns. In addition to that, make sure that children get adequate physical activity. No one as well is set up for sleep when they've been sitting all day. In particular, having activity before mealtime, before that final meal of the day, what I try to encourage parents to do is activity and light and exposure before that final meal, and then after that meal, think of it as like our wind down time for the day. Start to reduce exposure to electronics at least 1 hour before bedtime. If electronics are an integral part of your family life and you can't imagine life without that, apply a blue light filter. A blue light filter will allow your child's system to still continue to do that transition without as much disruption to their circadian system. If you have older children, avoid caffeine. And finally, make sleep a family priority. If you prioritize it in your life, you will see it'll be prioritized in your children, and this will give everyone better days and better nights.